This is hey YouTube, it's Fraser. Bam! Yeah, have one of those. Just at university as always. Got my mic on this time instead of just speaking to the mic from there. Hopefully it'll be better. I'm doing this video, as you can probably see at the top. It's basically on space colonization. It's another speculative video. I'm a dreamer, man. I love to dream, and I love to dream big, and space colonization is probably the biggest thing human beings can dream of. My other past video was on Earth and space elevators, which would be needed for colonization, but I want to get into the nitty-gritty of space colonization right now. I want to get right into it, and I want to understand where we're going, what's happening, how we're going to get there, what materials we're going to use, where can we find them, where are we going, what planets would be optimizable. Okay, we got a lot to get into, so let's get into this. Alright, first of all, first things first is the purpose of space colonization. The purpose of space colonization, in my humble opinion, as well as all other human beings' humble opinions, we may differ, but the purpose of space colonization is 1, to expand human civilization, 2, to preserve human civilization. Human civilization is very fragile. Like, shit could hit the fan right now. Like, Wall Street could collapse, or the economy collapse, or fucking North Korea, you know what's happening over there, could send some nukes over here. Or a lot of bad things could happen. A freaking meteorite could come and smash our galaxy or something. Like, anything can happen. So, we need to do that. We need to preserve our civilization, number 2, and expand it, number 1. That's why we're going to do this. That's the whole purpose of space colonization, to expand the human civilization and to preserve it. Because, hey, we might be the only intelligent life forms to have existed in the entire galaxy, entire universe. How freaking profound is that? We cannot waste this. We cannot let this fall. We cannot let this fall. This is the bastion of greatness and logic and understand the universe. In the words of Stephen Hawking, we are star matter that can observe the stars. Very profound. Okay, now the materials that would be used. Okay, they would have to be common materials so that we would have a decent life, like metals and all that stuff. And all that stuff can be found on these places. Like, we would probably go to the moon and colonize there, or which would be safe, relatively, because, like, fuck, we're going to go to, like, Venus, you get burnt to death. The moon would be pretty safe. It's got some water there. That could be some of our materials. Most of the materials will be found on the colony itself, on the planet itself. Water is found on the moon in small quantities, but 1% of the moon is water, which is great, though, because it's a fucking huge place. And we could take some water out of there and use to drink and help humanity. It's devoid of other materials like carbon, helium, argon, and all those noble gases. Nitrogen as well. It's devoid of that. But it's got it has some oxygen, though. It's got oxygen in there, so that's pretty good. Because we need oxygen to live. We need a lot of oxygen. And also, it'd be pretty easy to transport this stuff to the moon. That's why I think that it's like the prime real estate for space colonization. There's this thing where they're buying moon land. Buy it up. It's freaking good. Okay, energy. What would we use to power our machines and power the system that we would use to have life support on these colonies? We would use solar power. And why would we use solar power? Because it's there and it's abundant. Because there's no atmosphere dilution. The atmosphere takes away like something like 70% of the sun's power. Like Earth has an atmosphere, Moon does not have an atmosphere. Boom, you get 100% of all that solar energy. But also you get the solar radiation that comes with it. It emits gamma rays and ultraviolet rays and all this nasty shit that will fucking turn you into like Superman and shit. It's terrible. But as long as you wear protective suits and maybe you build a dome, maybe like one of those big domes, like we're freaking amazing dome makers, we'll make huge domes, and you build one of those over the civilization and tint it a little bit, but then you have the solar panels on the outside. See what I did there? They're on the outside, getting all the rays. You're on the inside, getting none of the rays. Life's good. Boom. Energy problem solved. Transportation. Well, you've seen like the Mars rover and like that golf cart type thing and all those moon videos. That's what we'd use. Basically, transportation off-world would be a lot weirder. That's why I made my space elevator video. We gotta make a space elevator. My god, it's so important. Without the space elevator, it would be almost impossible to have thousands of ships every day coming back and forth from the moon or from Mars, because Mars has got a lot of water. It's got a lot more than fucking the moon does, and a lot of other carbon and all those materials. It's abundant in those. But to the moon, which would be the most likely place for human colonization at first, there would be thousands of fucking spaceships going back and forth. It'd be really hard to put all those spaceships on the ground and launch them, and fuck, man, it'd eat up our atmosphere and all our oxygen. It'd be terrible for people on Earth. That's why we need a space elevator, where we just unlock the spaceship, boom, floats around, then shoots out, gone over there. We could also transport our materials through the elevator onto the ships. It'd be perfect. All right. Life support. We would probably recycle all of our shit. We would have to. It'd be really, really good. Like, we'd recycle all of our excretions, recycle all the carbon dioxide we breathe, all the plant excretions, all the sweat, all the moisture in the air. It'd be a totally controlled environment. It'd be like a vacuum in like an experiment with nothing going in, nothing coming out. Everything's reused. Everything's solid. It'd be good. It'd be good. Yeah, it'd be like a biosphere. Yeah. Also, once we are going, okay, future goals. Once we're going onto the moon, we are able, after that, to transfer that experience over to other planets like Mars, which are much farther away from our homeland. So if we go to the moon and we're able to colonize and be good at it and see that we're doing something really good that can be fruititious, then we'll be able to practice makes perfect and then go to other space colonies on Mars and other places like that. What would our population size be? Population size. Oh. Well, it could be anything amount of population size, but what I would want to see is like a thriving city, which would be like 1 million people. But I don't know, not at this point. At this point, I'm saying like 20, 30,000 people, maybe even less than that, maybe only a couple hundred. It depends on what we're willing to put out there. And so if we put out there like a huge biosphere that can house, it's just all about housing, like 100,000 people, that'd be perfect. We'd have tons of people up there. But we'd also have to expand like our rescue fleet and like our space fleet. We need a space fleet so that we can freaking go up there and get the people and then come back safely. So that's all good and everything's good and everyone's safe and people can be transported there and back. Well, we don't need like a fucking spaceship that can fit 1,000 people or like something like that. We just need one that can like hopefully like do good, or we need at least the biosphere there that's impregnable and that can fucking fight against meteorites and all that sort of stuff. Yes. Okay. So okay. Pretty sure the only good locations, I got locations written down here. I'm pretty sure the only good location would be the moon at this point in our development. But later on, you got to think to the future, because the present is the past always. So in the future, there might be, it might be Mars. It might be what's it called? Europa, Jupiter's moon. It could even be like a gas giant. Like Jupiter, you could make like a platform that like stabilizes inside but that'd be a real big undertaking. Stabilize inside Jupiter. But honestly, a big undertaking is like building the Great Wall, and that was done 300 fucking No, 3,000 years ago. That was done 3,000 years ago. Or how about the pyramids? That was done freaking 4,000 years ago, man. They built the pyramids 4,000 years ago, and that's a huge undertaking. Like putting a space elevator up, or putting a satellite on like a satellite platform, a massive platform on Jupiter. Like, that's not a big undertaking. If you really think about it, it's not, man. You just need to take the space platform and then make a ship big enough to carry it and all its cargo and the fuel to Jupiter, and then boom, dump it off. And like, there we go. We have a habitat like Cloud City in Star Wars. Freaking amazing. But see, nothing's ever impossible. Never. Yeah, Europa, Titan on Saturn. That's pretty good. Because it has a dense atmosphere. You know, like it actually has an atmosphere. It's one of the only moons that does, and it can basically support life if it had to be. Also, asteroids. We could use asteroids. We have tons of asteroids flying in between us and Mars. Let's use that. Why not? Put that on there. Let's do it. You know, like put a space station on asteroid. Who cares? It'll be good. A big one though, so that they're not falling off. But hey, man, never stop believing, and always believe that there's a way into space, because there will be. Because, hey, no one said there was a way fucking on the ocean until we did it. So let's do this. Yes, people. My children unite. YouTube, I love you. Like, subscribe, whatever. Freaking love you guys. See you guys later. Phrase live.